Good morning, welcome to the garden. So excuse my voice, I'm getting over a little bit of a cold, but I am coming out here today to pot up another frost hardy container. These containers may get put to the test this week. We actually look like we might be getting our first frost maybe this Wednesday, so that'll be interesting to see if we actually get it, but it won't matter for the container that I am doing today. So I wanted to create with this container a little bit of vertical interest. So oftentimes with fall containers, they can be a little bit kind of flat. A lot of things are shorter. There are some really great kales that can be kind of taller, but it's really easy to have sort of more like a flat container. I actually found with some of the containers that I made last time, which I really love, they're beautiful, but they're very sort of flat. So this is going to be a taller container, and we're going to use this topiary form and some of the plants that I've got left over. I'm excited to put it together. Let me show you how the other containers are doing really quickly. I will link that video in the description below. They're looking so great. I did have a couple squirrels trying to munch on the cabbages and kales of all things, which I think is super weird. I've never really had squirrels eating my cabbages like that, but I put a little chili powder and threw some of the very hot peppers that I had left over from the garden into those containers, and so far it's kept the squirrels out and they're looking really good. This is just a quick update. As you can see, we've got the beautiful ivy, which we are going to utilize again today, violas, the cabbages, and the decorative kales. And these containers are just so beautiful. I absolutely have been loving them. And I've been watching this ivy, and it's really growing and thriving even as we're getting into cooler temperatures here. So I am going to use this in our container today to add a little bit of height, and that is going to be really fun. So let me take you over here and show you what we got. So I have a couple of these really beautiful ornamental kales left over. They're so pretty. And then I have some of this ivy. This is a yellow ripple English ivy. Just a very classic looking English ivy, super beautiful and trailing. So you can use it as a spiller like I did in those containers over there. I've got my big salvia container in the middle of the garden right now because I don't know what to do with it. I really just probably need to take it out. Like this is, I don't know how much longer it's gonna last, but it's still got a bunch of beautiful flowers on it. So I've been leaving it there for the bees. But anyways, we're gonna put those two together. And then I also have a few of these, which one are these? I don't think it's the, oh, here it is. This is the penny yellow blotch. Super, super pretty little viola. Just gonna deadhead it a little bit, and we will pop some of those into our container as well. So I have a nice big terracotta pot here, and I have this topiary form. And this is what we're going to plant the ivy into so they can grow up the topiary form and just add a little bit of height interest to the garden for winter. So let me get some soil in here and I'll get it set up, and then we will plant this container up. So let's start by popping in our topiary form, and then we're going to take a couple of these ivy plants and just plant them right in. There we go. And I'm just gonna kind of feed it up. Beautiful. Then we'll do of these really pretty kales. You know what? I think I'm just gonna do two of the kales. Let's see. And then violas. So with all your fall and winter containers, definitely plant them closer than you would think. I mean, I am hoping that the ivy is going to put on some growth, and ivy's a pretty tough plant, so I sort of imagine that it will put on some growth and grow even though we're getting into these colder winter temperatures. But oftentimes plants don't grow as much in the fall, so the more you pack in a container like this, the better it's gonna look in the end. So fun. I am loving this. This is gonna be obviously even better and better as the ivy grows up the topiary form, but it's so pretty still. And I do, oh no, well, that's okay. They will bloom tons more, but I love this combination of the purple and the yellow. I think it looks so cute, and this is gonna be such a nice addition of height in the garden here. So I'll probably pop it maybe over here next to these containers. I just came in. I have been harvesting so much arugula for the garden. I just came in and harvested a bunch of arugula out of here, and the containers are doing super well. I just think it will be nice to have some little bit of height, and also because we're going to be losing these coleus. Most of the plants now are all cold hardy plants that don't mind cold temperatures, but the coleus that'll be one that will not be able to handle a frost. Now I did also come in here, you can see, and I took out the pumpkins. This was where we had our pumpkin tower, and I did pop another one of the ivies here into the center of this topiary form too, and we've got violas growing all around it. And then hopefully that ivy will also grow up the topiary form and be super pretty. And ivy is one that will grow all winter. Handle the frost, it will grow all winter, but it'll also be really beautiful come spring and summer. I mean, I think it would look really lovely on the topiary forms all through the season, which is kind of nice. You know, I like to change the look up in my garden a lot, but every so often it's nice to feel like you don't have to make those big changes, and you have like a little bit of room to just let things grow. I'm just trying to deadhead the violas right now. It takes a little bit of time because I do have a lot of violas in this garden, but it makes a big difference for keeping the violas looking good. If you have violas in containers, and let me show you a little bit of what I'm going to do now. So if you have violas in containers, especially if you're growing them in like, it has been kind of warm, so like warmer months, and we've had some heat this fall, you'll see they start to get a little leggy like this. I want them to obviously fill in this container, but I don't want them to get so long and leggy that they start to kind of get unsightly. So I will actually come in and pinch off, kind of like you would a petunia. I will just come in and sort of pinch off the tops of the plants. And now we're going into the really colder temperatures, and so hopefully with a little bit of pinching and pruning, they should stay nice and bushy, because this is what we want. We want like a bushy, full looking viola instead of a very like stringy, long. This look is not the look we want. So we'll just pop off the end of that plant and it'll flush back out and create a more bushy plant, especially as we get into colder weather. Otherwise they just get really tall and they don't end up looking as good. So we just need to do a little bit of pruning. There we go. Oh, it looks so nice. It's hard to even capture it on camera, but it looks so nice, adding just that bit of height. I love it. Beautiful, beautiful plants. These fall containers are such a joy. I do come out and do a little bit of like pulling the leaves out of the way, but for the most part they're just so pretty and they look so nice. I'm hoping that they will just continue to fill out, flesh out, and be super beautiful. So I'm just gonna water all the containers in. I have been trying to be really careful with fall and winter containers. You don't need to water them quite as much maybe as like some of those summer containers, but when you have hot days, like we have had some days in the 70s and the 80s, even though we are, you know, well into the fall here, I try to make sure I really get out on those hot days and give them a lot of water. And then just keep an eye, because sometimes it can be a little deceiving. Fall rains, and definitely like when you get into snow, you sort of feel like the garden is getting enough water and you feel like the containers are getting hydrated, but they don't always. So I do water my container garden all throughout the winter, even when we are having snow and everything, because sometimes it's just not enough. So just do really keep an eye on those fall winter containers. All right, I'm gonna do some kind of tidying up out here, just getting ready for the first frost, water everything in. We are getting into that cold weather now, which means putting the cover on the unheated greenhouse and all of those real true like fall winter things. So kind of fun, kind of exciting. We might even start doing some Christmas decorating soon, who knows. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye bye.